I am so fed up of seeing a nation of starving, miserable women. I'm determined to change it. Single-handedly. Everybody is so concerned with eating less, eating less, eating less. Don't eat less, move more. Get off your fat ass and move more. Here's the first question by Balance It Raw. Okay, so she says, why is it better to work out your weekly calories and divide by 7? And how do you do this? So I shared this the other day in an Instagram post and people were absolutely blown away by it. They were like, that makes so much sense. Why didn't I think of that before? So let me just break it down for you, how I eat and how, and because people ask me that all the time. They say, how do you stay so lean all year round? Because a lot of people who compete, especially whenever they finish competing, they tend to get a bit fat, and there's really no other way to put it. They just tend to get a bit fat. And I never ever get too fat because I have a massive fear of being fat because I grew up in a family that fat shamed all the time. So I've always been terrified of actually getting fat. But secondly, being overweight isn't actually good for your heart or your kidneys or your internal organs. I mean, it's really not. Being overweight is not just unsightly to many people. Many people love being overweight. And if you're one of those people, you rock on with your bad self. No judgment here. But apart from the fact that, a lot of people don't like looking overweight, whenever you carry too much body fat, it does affect your internal organs. So I'm the kind of person who likes to stay lean all year round. And I never track calories off season. People always ask me, how do you, what are your macros and what are your calories when you're off season? I never, ever, ever track calories when I'm not dieting. The only time I track calories is in the last couple of weeks before a show, whenever I really am down to, the wire with my calories and I need to know exactly what I'm consuming. So is it better to work out? Let me go back to the question. Why is it better to work out your weekly calories and divide it by 7? So whenever you work out your calories, whenever you use an online calorie calculator, we have a free one, by the way, on our website, which is, if you just go to thesculptedvegan.com and click on free tools, there's a free macro calculator in there, which you can use to calculate your calories and your macros. And basically, whenever you use that calculator or you use any of the other calculators online or someone works out your calories and your macros for you, what they do is they take into account your weekly workout schedule. So how many times you train, the kind of training you do. Is it very intense? Is it, moderate? Is it light? They also take into account, this is say an online calculator. Let's say my online calculator on my website. So you will say the age you are, the height you are, the weight you are. So that'll give an approximation of, okay, so she's 5'8", she's 66 kilos, she doesn't have a lot of body fat, she's 17% body fat. So the calculator will say, right, well, that means she probably has a lot of muscle, right? Whereas if you were 5'8" and 66 kilos and you were 35% body fat, well, then the calculator is going to know that you have less muscle and more body fat. So therefore you don't need as many calories because muscle is very calorie hungry. Fat is not calorie hungry. That's why people who have more muscle can eat a lot more food because they have a lot more muscle to feed with the food. I always imagine your muscles being like a little posse of hungry birds, like tweet, 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 and the mummy birds having to feed them all the time. So I imagine my muscles are like little hungry birds and the food that I eat is, fueling those hungry birds. And if you don't have a lot of hungry birds, you don't need a lot of food. That's the bottom line. So what you do whenever you work out your calories then is you put in all of that information, your height, your weight, your body fat, whether you're male or female, and then you put in your job. Are you sedentary? Like, do you sit at a desk all day? Or do you go to, are you a mailman or a mailwoman? Are you on your feet all day delivering mail? Are you a waitress? So therefore, you would be burning more calories. You take into account, your normal daily expenditure. Then you add into the mix, well, how many days a week do you train? How many days a week do you do cardio? So what is voluntary extra work on top of the work that you do? So what we're trying to do, or what the macro calculator is trying to do, is work out your weekly calorie expenditure. So once you have inputted all of this data, then your the calorie calculator will look at what your weekly calorie expenditure is. And then it will divide that number by 7. And so it will say, let's say, just for argument's sake, your weekly calorie expenditure is 14,000 calories. It will divide that number by 7. So your daily calorie intake will be 2,000 calories. And then it'll further break it down into, protein and fat. You can decide, what ratios you want. I personally use a 40% carb, 30% protein, 30% fat ratio. I just find that it works really well for my body, but some people like to play around with those percentages. So that is how you work out your weekly calories and then your daily calories. So how does this, though, work with staying lean all year round? Well, I don't track my calories, right? But I kind of know roughly whenever I'm eating, because I eat the same things day in, day out. Of course, my salad changes and all different things change, but because I eat roughly the same things day in, day out, my food never really changes. But what I always aim to do is to slightly undereat about 80% of the time, which leaves the other 20% of the time with lots of wiggle room. So I will choose to consume, like, so let's say my total daily energy expenditure, that's what you call the amount of calories you burn in a day, which is your basal metabolic rate, okay, which is the rate at which your body burns calories just to stay alive, added on to the amount of calories that you burn every day in your job and training and moving around. So you add those two together, your BMR plus your total daily calorie intake, and that gets your total daily energy expenditure. My total daily energy expenditure is high because I have a lot of muscle, so my BMR is very high. And so I would need to consume about 2,800 calories a day just to maintain the body that I've got. So I probably aim to eat anywhere between 1,800 to 2,000 calories per day, okay? Can vary a little, and again, like I said, I don't track, but I just know by the food that I've eaten, because I've tracked for so many years, I know how many calories I'm consuming. So I would probably eat, on a bad day, it'll be 1,800 calories, could be anywhere up to maybe 2,200 calories, but it's way below what my body needs in order to maintain the weight that I've got. But so basically what I'm saying is in a weekly, like let's work it out, 2,800 calories, multiplied by 7 is 19,600 calories. In a week, I have 19,600 calories to consume to stay exactly the same weight as I am now. So if I undereat, say Monday to Friday, then it leaves me with extra calories for the weekend. Do you see how that works? So let's say that I only eat 2,000 calories a day, Monday to Friday. That's actually, hang on, 2,000 calories a day, Monday to Friday is 10,000 calories. That leaves me with 9,600 calories to consume on the weekend, or at any other time that I want, you know, with cheat meals or anything I want, or alcohol, because I'm Irish, like we drink, okay? We love drinking. I drink loads of beer, not loads, like, but I drink quite a lot, and I drink, you know, champagne on a Friday, and we'll like have a garden party and like drink in the garden, and then we'll have pizza for dinner, and I can do all this guilt-free because I know that during the week I have saved on a lot of calories because I have slightly undereaten. The two rules that you need to live by though, whenever you're trying to build muscle and burn body fat, is that you need to slightly undereat 80% of the time to leave that 20% of the time for, you know, for all your indulgences that you love. But you also must schedule the bulk of your nutrition around your training. So one thing I never ever do is I never train fasted, and I never miss my post-workout protein and Vitargo. So I'll always eat before I go to the gym, and I'll always have 50 grams of protein with a scoop or two of Vitargo, which is a high molecular weight carbohydrate, directly after training. So I always schedule the bulk of my food around my training because that's when my body has the biggest calorific need. So whenever you train in the gym, your muscles get depleted of glycogen, and then because you obviously are training away all that glycogen because you're working hard in the gym, and then your body immediately wants to fill up your muscles with glycogen again, which is where the protein, the fuel comes in. So if you always eat around your training, you can kind of skimp on your calories for the rest of the day if you want to, but if you undereat 20%, now by undereat, I don't mean starving yourself, people, okay? You don't want your metabolism to drop. But to be honest though, if you ate this way, you could actually starve yourself. You could drop down to 1,000 calories. I'm not recommending that you should, because that's starvation, okay? But technically eating this way, as long as your weekly caloric intake is stable, you could drop down very, very low during the week and then bump it up on the weekend, and that will keep your leptin levels very steady. It will stop your metabolism from dropping, and it will keep your body burning fat like crazy. The mistake people make whenever they try to lose body fat is they drop their calories too quickly. They go crazy on the cardio and they go into starvation diets, or else they don't even do any cardio, they just starve themselves. They just drop their calories way, way, way down. They starve themselves. And that's really not a good thing, because then what will happen is your metabolism drops because your leptin levels fall. Leptin is a hormone that your body produces to regulate your metabolism. If your leptin levels fall, your metabolism will drop. How your leptin levels fall is when you permanently starve yourself. That's why it's really important, if you're on a diet, to have a regular refeed meal every single week to keep your leptin levels high and keep the metabolism roaring along. So, I mean, it's not an exact science what I'm teaching here. It's just what I've always done for years. But I think that where people fall down and where the problem comes in is whenever they stick to their calories and macros. So they go, okay, I've got 2,000 calories today and I've got these macros, and they're tracking, but then they're having little regular, cheats. They're having like an extra, spoonful of dessert, a couple of nuts, in their mid-morning snack, an extra spoonful of this, an extra little bit of that, a couple of pieces of chocolate. So they're eating exactly to their macros, but they're cheating in many little ways during the day, and then they tell themselves that it doesn't matter. But those little cheats could add up to 200 to 300 calories. And an extra 200 to 300 calories a day is an extra 1,400 calories per week. So, that's why a lot of people fail on their weight loss goals, is because they don't leave themselves any wiggle room. If you're on a diet, I would choose to undereat 80% of the time, even slightly undereat under your calories if you know you're going to give yourself little wiggle room cheat areas. And then you can, then you have room for those little areas because you are slightly undereating. But it's what people don't understand is it's just a mathematical equation. It's how many calories does your body need to burn in a week to stay the same or lose, and how can you distribute those calories over a 7-day period. It doesn't have to be the same calories every single day. They can be unevenly distributed, because it doesn't really matter what you eat in a day. It's more important what you eat in a week. Making the sense? Okay, good. Okay, so I want to answer this one. So Shahina Zelta Ruti, amazing name, says, what do you think of intermittent fasting for weight loss? I don't believe, I was going to make a really bold statement, go, I hate intermittent fasting. And then I thought, no, Kim, be a little more, I'm not going to be like, but I'm going to try and hold back a little bit. It is my personal belief that intermittent fasting is not conducive to a bodybuilding diet. So of course I hate it because I'm a bodybuilder, okay? And so my goals are always to raise my metabolism, burn more fat, build more muscle, right? So I think a lot of people start intermittent fasting because they want to lose body fat. And intermittent fasting can be useful for losing weight, but it's not really, the whole thing about intermittent fasting truly isn't that you're not eating in the morning, or you're not eating at night, or you're not eating at certain times of the day. It's that you not eating in those certain times causes your body to consume less food, which, if you were listening to the previous answer, was that if your body consumes less food over a 7-day period, you're going to lose weight. So it's not really the intermittent fasting that causes you to lose weight. It's that you're in a calorie deficit. And this is what many people don't understand. They're like, oh, intermittent fasting, we love it. It's like, it's so amazing and I'm so wonderful. And I'm like, well, can you explain the science to me of intermittent fasting? And they're like, no. Like, they have no clue. So it's just that, it's the latest fad for losing weight. But here's the thing about intermittent fasting and why I truly don't believe that it's a good idea. And it's insane how many people are practicing it. So whenever you wake up in the morning, okay, your body is in a fasted state because you have fasted all night. You have fasted for 6 hours or more. And if you haven't eaten or drunk anything for 6 hours or more, your body is considered to be fasted, right? So you wake up in the morning after sleeping all night, your body is fasted. Whenever your body is fasted, your metabolism drops, right? Because your body has no digesting to do. It doesn't have any muscle glycogen to feed. In fact, it's used a lot of the muscle glycogen that it had in store. Because your muscle glycogen is your body's first source of energy, right? So it will use muscle glycogen first, and then it will use fat store, which is your body's second energy source. So whenever you wake up in the morning, your muscles are depleted of glycogen and your metabolism is slow. So what bodybuilders want to do, and what I always teach, is the first thing you want to do in the morning is ramp up your metabolism. Why do you want to ramp up your metabolism? Because a higher metabolism means that you're going to burn more fat, okay? A slow metabolism means that you're burning less fat. To me, this is very obvious. I don't know why people don't get this. So whenever, like what I was just teaching about the metabolism, whenever your metabolism is high, your leptin levels are high, your hormones are well regulated, everything works perfectly, and your body burns more fat. Whenever you don't eat properly, whenever you go into starvation mode, your leptin levels drop and your metabolism down regulates. That's why people who go on starvation diets or yo-yo dieting, they rarely have good and lasting results because their metabolism drops and their body stops burning fat because the metabolism slows everything down. It slows down growing your hair, growing your nails. It slows down digestion. It slows down the rate at which your body pumps blood around the body. It slows down everything, okay? Because it doesn't want to expend more energy than it needs because it recognizes it's not getting the energy in, aka food, that it needs in order to function efficiently. That's why your metabolism downregulates. And we all know that a slow metabolism means that your body will stop burning fat. So why on earth would you want to wake up in the morning and keep your metabolism slow? To me, I'm like, it doesn't make sense to me. So what I always teach is the first thing you should do in the morning when you wake up, instead of fasting, is eat 30 grams of protein. Doesn't matter how you eat the protein. You can have a protein shake. You can have, if you're not vegan, you can have like 3 egg whites. You can have 3 whole eggs if you want. You know, if you're totally not vegan or vegetarian, you can have some other meat source. You could have scrambled tofu. You can have anything you want, but 30 grams of protein within 30 minutes of waking up. It's not my strategy. It's a guy called Tim Ferriss who wrote The 4-Hour Body. There's a lot of science behind this. What this does is it raises your metabolism 15 to 20% for the entire day. Why? Because protein is thermogenic. So what thermogenic means, that it takes energy from your body to digest the protein. And whenever you digest the protein, whenever your body's digesting the protein, and that's taking energy, then your metabolism has to speed up. So your metabolism has to ramp up in order to digest the protein. Once your metabolism is revved up, it stays high for the whole day. If you naturally burn 100 calories per hour at rest and your metabolism is 10% higher for the day, that means you're going to be burning 110 calories an hour. An extra 10 calories in 24 hours is, you guessed it, 240 calories. 240 calories multiplied by 7, 1,680 extra calories burned per week just from eating 30 grams of protein within 30 minutes of waking up. It's genius, isn't it? So intermittent fasting and me are not friends. When people come into my 12-month Sculpted Vegan program, we get so many intermittent fasters come in, and we have to totally re-educate them on feeding their body. We are a nation of starving, miserable women. Starving, miserable women. Women have this absolutely screwed up mentality that they are terrified to eat. We just launched the 12-week shred program, and the carbs are really quite low, okay? They drop per phase. So phase 1, they're slightly higher. Phase 2, they're lower. Phase 3, they're lower again. We have women coming into the Facebook group and going, oh my God, like I'm so scared. Like these carbs are so much higher than I'm used to eating. And I'm like, are you shitting me? Like these carbs are high for you? Because these carbs are half of what I would eat in a day. In fact, they're a quarter of what I would eat in a day. And they're like, yeah, like I'm so scared to eat. And I sold 8,500 programs last year. And I am horrified by how many women are scared to eat. Scared to eat. Food is fuel. There are 3 things that raise the metabolism in the body and cause you to burn more fat, okay? I preach them constantly. More muscle, more food, more exercise. Move more, eat more, lift more weight in the gym. Your metabolism will go through the roof. Your body will burn more fat. It's not rocket science. It is simple, but you can't be scared of eating. And intermittent fasting, in my personal opinion, what slows down the metabolism and goes against everything that I'm trying to teach, which is build your body up, build more muscle. You'll be stronger as you move into into old age, and stronger physically. That's a really good word. Stronger physically, stronger mentally, stronger in every single way. And what you build in the gym, the discipline, the motivation, the belief in yourself, that transcends every area of your life. And I truly believe that every single person should be training in the gym, should be doing some kind of resistance, not even in the gym, but doing some kind of resistance training in order to keep themselves strong. You don't need to eat less, you need to move more, okay? We need to flip it on its head. We have this I'm totally off on a rant here. I'm going to stop now and answer another question. But we totally need to flip this shit on its head. Like, everybody is so concerned with eating less. Don't eat less, move more. Move more, get off your fat ass and move more. Go for a walk. Take your dog for a walk. Run in your garden, or run on the spot, or skip, or rent a treadmill for your house. It's like it's like £12 a week to rent a treadmill. Move more, don't eat less. Show up and do the hard thing. Okay, so intermittent fasting and me, not friends. But listen, if you're like, well, you're just totally wrong because I love intermittent fasting and it's really worked for me, totally and utterly pumped for you. If it's worked for you and you love it and it's the best thing that's ever, and it's the only thing that's ever worked for you, and you think everything I'm saying is bullshit, that is absolutely your prerogative. And I support you 100%. But unfortunately, for many, many, many people, intermittent fasting is not the best decision because they're already starving themselves. They already don't know what to do, and all they're doing is eating less and making themselves more miserable. I am so fed up of seeing a nation of starving, miserable women. I'm determined to change it. This is a really good one. I'm going to answer this one. Do you ever have a lazy day? So people think people seem to think that I am some kind of fucking machine, okay? Like, don't get me wrong, I am a little bit of a machine. I admit I do have more energy than the average person, and I always have had. In fact, I always used to say, there was a quote I saw years ago on Instagram, my problem is I suffer from too much motivation. I do, I suffer from too much motivation, which is fine. But I have lazy days all the time, but I don't usually have a lazy day. No, that's not true. Hang on, I'm gonna reverse back up. I'll tell you when I have a lazy day. I have a lazy day whenever I really feel like I need one, or when it's scheduled into my training regime. So the thing about lazy days is that they are, your muscle only grows when your body is resting. Your muscle doesn't grow when you're in the gym. Your muscle doesn't grow when you're moving around. Your muscle grows when your body is resting. So it doesn't necessarily need to be sleeping, although that is the best thing that you can do. The muscle grows when the body is resting. So if you don't rest your body, your muscle won't grow. So I see rest as an absolute integral part of my training. My goal, which I am very, very clear, now I'm burping because I'm drunk my coffee. My goal, which I am very, very, very clear on, is that I want to build more muscle. In fact, Mike, my new videographer, said to me today, Kim, what is your goal? And it was not video. What is your goal, Kim? And I was like, I don't have a goal at the minute, except I want bigger legs and bigger glutes. And my husband keeps going, do you actually want bigger legs? I'm like, yes, I really do. I really want bigger legs. It's not that I want bigger legs. I just love a big, muscly pair of melon crushers. Like, I just totally speaks my language. So I'm really happy with my body. I'm happy with my shape. I've got lovely wide shoulders and narrow waist, and I've got great glutes and great legs, and I don't mind saying it because I've worked hard for it. So I do want to have, as I get older, I want to be strong. So I'm 40 now. I know my max milestone is 50 and then 60. I want to be like the hottest 60-year-old you've ever seen in your entire life. I want to be in shit hot shape. So I want to stay really, really strong. I also have some personal goals in that I want to, I want to hit a 200 kilo incline hack squat. I've done 190 kilos for 6 reps. I want to hit a 200 kilo incline hack squat. I want to do that this year, right? So I have kind of goals like that in the gym. And Mark wants me up to 4 plates a side on my V squat. So at the minute I'm up to 4.5 plates a side. He wants me up to 4 full plates, and I'm happy to go there. So I have these big goals that I want for the gym, and then I also have these body goals. I want a higher, tighter booty. Like, my bum is nice for a 40-year-old, but it's not. I determined that it's going to be like I was when I was 20 again, and time is running out because the skin's getting softer and it's getting saggier. So I have these goals of like big melon crusher legs, really high, tight booty, definitely, some weight in the gym. And do you know what is part of those goals? Do you know what is an integral part of those goals? Lazy days, aka rest days. Your muscle grows when you're resting. Your muscle does not grow in the gym, right? And I never ever, and the underlying premise of this, Elizabeth, or Eliabeth it is actually, the underlying premise of this question, whenever I get it, and this may not be true for you, but when I get this question from other people, what people are really asking is, how can I not feel guilty for having a lazy day? Because most people, when they have a lazy day, they feel guilty. And they're like, oh, I feel really bad. I should be doing this and I should be doing that. And we like should all over ourselves. Like, people are just shooting all over themselves. I should have been up this morning. I should have been in the gym. Oh, I shouldn't have had that drink last night. I shouldn't have had that bottle of wine. I should have this, or I shouldn't have this, or I should have this and I shouldn't have this. I don't should ever. I just do, okay? And the only reason I do is because I have everything scheduled. So I know Monday now I don't train, but Monday I do cardio. So I get up in the morning and I get on the Stairmaster for about 45 minutes to an hour. Tuesday I train legs with Mark. Wednesday I train back. Thursday I don't train, but I do the Stairmaster. Friday I train with Mark, and Saturday or Sunday I train with my husband. So I know that I have these training days set out, and I know that I go for 3 big walks with the dog, at least, on my friend Claire, and I do 2 Stairmaster sessions a week. Everything is scheduled. So when I have a lazy, aka rest day, I never feel guilty about it because it's part of my training program. I'm like, yay, today is rest day. Like Monday, I love Mondays. It's only active cardio on that day. Sunday, usually, or Saturday, total and utter rest day, okay? And it's part of my program, so I don't feel guilty about it. What else is part of my program is alcohol, okay? I love the summer and I love a drink because I'm Irish and I make no apologies for it. People are like, shit, she's always drinking on Instagram. I'm like, damn right I am. I dieted and trained. I always say that I spend half the year sober and skinny and the other half fat and happy. And I wrote this in our group. We have a family group with my sisters and their husbands. And I wrote the other day, you know, my husband was like, anybody up for drinks in our garden? And I was like, yay, me, I'm up for drinks in the garden. And I said, I spend half the year sober and skinny and the other half fat and happy. And he was like, I prefer fat Kim. And my sisters were like, yes, us too. We prefer fat Kim because I'm so boring whenever I'm prepping and I'm dieting because I'm always like saying no to things. No, I can't go out. No, I can't eat that. No, we can't have a party. But then the other half of the year, it's like, party Kim! Fat and happy Kim is here. So, yeah, so those are also like, see, after I finish here, my husband posted in our group today and he was like, 4 p.m, drinks in the garden, who's up? And I was like, I'm up for drinks in the garden at 4 p.m. So we're like, you know, it's, and I will not wake up in the morning and go, oh, shouldn't have had that wine or shouldn't have had that beer. I wake up in the morning and go, Christ, wasn't that a great party? You know, am I a bit hungover? Yeah, but can I afford to be? 100%, because I know that I worked hard all week. So it's not really about, you know, are you having a lazy day or, you know, do I ever have lazy days? Of course I have lazy days, but they're not lazy days. You know, they're never days where I go, you know what, today was a cardio day and I just can't be arsed, so I'm not going to do it. I mean, sometimes, of course, I'm human, that does happen, but I usually schedule my rest days for the weekend whenever I know I'm going to want to party and have fun, and the rest of the time, I just show up and do the work. So you really just got to figure out, you know, what's important to you. Show up and do the work. It's not a lazy day. If you've done the work, it's a rest day, but only you can determine whether or not you have earned that rest day. I know that I have earned it whenever it happens, but it's up to you to decide whether you've earned it or not. Okay, let me just do a couple of quick ones. And I can never pronounce all your names. Shahina is saying, how many hours a day do you train? At like 45 minutes. 45 minutes, 4 days a week. That's it. I mean, sometimes I do, you know, a session of cardio as well, which will be an additional 45 minutes, but like I just kind of do my cardio whenever I feel like it these days. So I only train 45 minutes. That's it. 45 minutes, 4 days a week. Can you still build great looking quads omitting the hack squat? My knees hurt so bad when I use the hack squat. Of course you can. There's many ways to build great quads. You don't need, you don't need the hack squat. Like I use an incline hack squat, which is different to a regular hack squat. With a regular hack squat, you're lying back. With an incline hack squat, you're actually sitting in a chair. So your legs are in the same position, but your back is more upright, so it really focuses into the quads and the glutes more. But yeah, I mean, any type of squat and every type of squat will build the quads. So just be doing loads of different angles of loads of different squats and you really will build your quads. Why do I not get hungry after a workout? Because your metabolism's slow. Well, 2 reasons. It could be that your metabolism is slow, or it could be that you have trained too hard, which for most people isn't really true. But sometimes if I've trained really hard, I just kind of feel physically sick after a workout and I'm not hungry. But I usually do drive home anyway and kind of force myself to drink my protein shake. But usually it's because your metabolism you haven't trained yourself to be hungry. Like you have to train your body like you have to train a dog, okay? And if you're not hungry after you train, it could be that you just haven't trained your body to. So make sure that you're drinking a protein shake or something that's easy to digest and easy to eat, and you'll be absolutely fine. I have to answer that one. When do you do your yoga? Okay, at the minute, I am so bad. I literally have not practiced yoga for a couple of months now. And I kept saying, I'm going to go back into my yoga practice. The problem is my business is so busy at the minute and we have so many new hires. We're just taking on new project manager, new videographers, we're just taking on a new assistant. I really can't fit in any more than just cardio and training at the minute. So I'm happy to let my yoga just fall by the wayside for a while and I definitely will get back to it. Okay, here's another really good one. Cynthia, do you have a time at night that you don't eat past? No, Cynthia. No, this is another one that drives me insane and I love that you asked the question, okay? So I'm so glad that you asked it. So never feel like, if I'm ever giving you like a little mini smackdown, never feel like take it personally. It's always delivered with love. But like truly, see all of these. Do you know what all of these are, right? Don't get me wrong, I'm into control, right? I am the biggest control freak that you will ever meet in your entire life. You can't do what I do and not be a control freak in some way, okay? But women especially, you don't find men, right? Men don't obsess. I've never had a question from a man over, oh, should I not eat past 7 p.m? Or, should I practice intermittent fasting? Or, are carbs bad? Like men just don't ask these questions. Men just go, Me want to build big muscle, me must eat lots of food. Or men go, oh shit, it's 8 p.m. and I'm hungry. What will I do? I'll eat. It's like common sense, right? But women go, oh, it's 8 p.m. Oh God, maybe I shouldn't eat. I don't know. I don't know. I'm really hungry, but like I think it'll maybe like my metabolism or something, or maybe it'll cause me to like hold on to a bit more fat. What do the experts say? Maybe we'll ask Google. And then we're asking. I'm like, seriously, girls, just eat, okay? It doesn't matter when you eat. Doesn't matter if it's first thing in the morning. Doesn't matter if it's last thing at night. Doesn't matter if it's right before you go to bed. What matters is in a weekly period that your calories do not exceed what your body needs to either maintain what you've got or lose weight. So if your weekly calorie expenditure is 20,000 calories, right? If you eat in a week 1,500 calories, 15,000 calories in a week, you'll lose weight because you're eating less than your body needs to maintain. Doesn't matter a damn if that is 10 o'clock at night, 10 o'clock in the morning, midday, before you train, after you train, before you do your cardio, after you do your cardio. It doesn't matter. All of these things really don't matter. Women are like hyper controlling over all of these things, like, oh, maybe I shouldn't eat past 7 p.m. I actually think that women are, you know what? I actually think that we're just masochistic. I think in some way it's like, that we just like to punish ourselves or something. But really, no. Do I eat? I eat all night. I can't go to bed unless I've eaten something, right? See, if I go to bed hungry, I lie there till about 2 a.m. and then I go, damn, I can't believe that I was too fucking lazy to get up and get some food before I went to bed because I'm starving and now I have to eat. And I go downstairs and I eat 2 pieces of toast. Always, always, always eat before bed. When you eat before bed, it raises your serotonin levels, your body feels happy, your body relaxes, your liver starts to process more blood, 3 pints an hour instead of 2 pints an hour. It naturally makes you sleepy and you sleep well. And see all of this optimal digestion shit? Let me tell you, my digestion is absolutely perfect. Perfect. I just had a blood test done, a comprehensive blood test done, and it said my digestion was like off the charts good. And you know what I do? And by the way, this is really shocking. Are you ready? I'm going to really shock you here. Take note, okay? You ready? I eat when I'm hungry. Like, whenever I'm hungry, I'm hungry. What'll I do? I'll eat. It's not rocket science, right? So what you need to do is you need to figure out how many calories you need to consume in a week, and either to maintain the weight you've got or lose weight, and then you need to eat either in deficit of your weekly calorie expenditure, or you need to eat at your calorie expenditure, and your body will either lose weight or maintain weight, and that's all you need to do. If you are wondering what the hell I'm talking about, go back and watch the first question whenever this video ends. We're going to put it up live. And also go here to figure out what your total daily energy expenditure is. thesculptedvegan.com, click on free tools. It is a free macro calculator. You can get your calories, your macros, everything broken down for you. You're welcome. Oh, I love this one. Okay, you ready? I get this one all the time. Scott's Debs. Thanks for this question. This is great. How do you stay motivated? Do you have days when you just feel bleh? So that's kind of a 2-part question. I'm going to address the second part of the question first. You ready? Do you have days when you just feel bleh? Yes. All the freaking time. I'm really trying to watch my language here because I have to say, I was told recently that my language is really appalling and that I should try and not swear so much. So I've been really trying to not swear so much. So I hope you appreciate my efforts to not swear so much. Do you have days that you ever feel bleh? Yes, all the time. What do I do whenever I feel bleh? I go, wow, I feel bleh. Best get up and get to work. And I get up and I go to work. Here's the problem. Mostly with women, okay? And I know it seems I'm being very down on women here. I'm not. We're just overthinkers, right? Women are just overthinkers. We overthink everything. But let me give you a little bit of data about women. So women have these things called hormones in their bodies, right? And we blame hormones for everything, by the way, unnecessarily, but we have these things called hormones. So hormones make your body feel different every single day. When you wake up in the morning, your body feels different every single day. Now, of course, there are other factors that come into play, such as how much you've trained this week, how much you've eaten this week, whether you had nights out, whether you had a total and utter blowout, like I did the other week, where I was like so drunk, I like fell over and hurt my knee. Probably shouldn't admit that in public. But you know, it depends obviously on a lot of other external factors too, but women have hormones, right? So we have hormones. So we wake up every day and we feel different in our body. Sometimes we feel emotional. Sometimes we feel strong. And sometimes we're like, yes, PB today. And other times we're like, oh, it's really, I just don't feel like it. So quite often these things are to do with hormones. Now, men don't have these hormonal fluctuations. Men wake up in the morning and they go, and then that's it. They get on for the day, right? Men don't have these hormonal shifts that women have. Men just get up in the morning, go, you know, you've heard it, a shower, a shit and a shave, and away they go to work, and they feel exactly the same every single day. Women don't. We wake up and we go, oh, I feel so different today. Oh, I feel I have like cramps. Oh, I've got a little bit of a headache. And, oh, and I, you know, we try on and we're like, oh, and I have a friend who's like always, if she has something sore in her body, she's always like, oh, I have this like sore elbow. Oh, and we're like, we feel our bodies, right? We're so into feeling, because we feel our bodies every single day. And men don't have these feelings, right? Men get up in the morning and they go, here I am, I'm awake, let's eat something and go to work. They don't have these hormonal fluctuations. So these hormonal fluctuations cause women to be very in tune with the feelings of their body, which is a really good thing. Okay, I'm not knocking that. I'm saying that's a really, really good thing. It's really good to be in tune with your body. I wake up in the morning and I go, oh, isn't that interesting? I feel really tired today and I have a bit of a headache. Interesting. But I don't go, oh my God, like I don't make it mean something. So women have this habit of feeling a feeling in their body and then we make it mean something, right? Oh my God, I have a headache today. I wonder, does this mean I have a brain tumor? No, you don't have a brain tumor. You just have a fucking headache, you dick. Sorry. I really was supposed to not swear. Okay, so, you know, we go, oh, you know, I whenever I was doing a squat the other day, like, I felt this, like, clicking in my knee, and I felt, like, a little pain on the side of my knee. Well, what were you doing at the time? Well, I was squatting. Right, so you were squatting, you had 80 kilos on the bar? Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, I don't see the problem. What's the problem? But I had a pain in my knee. Right? You had a pain in your knee because you had 80 kilos on your back. And they're like, oh, do you think that's normal? Well, was it still sore afterwards? No, the pain went away. Well, why are you even thinking about it now? Like, you know, we're so, like, we make our feelings and our hormonals, and we're like, we let ourselves off the hook all the time, right? Because we feel all these feelings, and then we just let ourselves off the hook. And I am like, seriously, women, or people ask me all the time as well, Kim, do you train during your period? Yes. Like, do you think if I called Mark Eddy, have you guys seen my trainer, Mark Eddy? His bicep is 24 inches. Do you think if I called Mark Eddy, I was like, Mark, I'm not coming to training today because I have my period? Can you imagine what Mark would say? Mark would be like this. Did I actually hear you right? So, how do you stay motivated? Do you have days when you just feel blah? Yes, all the time. But do you know what I do? I make like a man and I get out of bed and I go to work. And I don't make it mean anything more than, oh shit, I feel a bit tired today. I have a bit of a headache today. Oh wow, I have my period. And I know there are women who are so into the whole, oh, I have my period today, so I have to like bless my body and really be in tune with my cycle and the moon and Mercury retrograde. Mercury retrograde made me do it. It wasn't really me, it was Mercury retrograde, and that's why my emotions, my hormones were all over the place. I'm not that kind of girl, okay? And if you like, if you kind of like that stuff, you're probably in the wrong place, I have to tell you now. I don't buy into all that shit. I am a woman, I have hormones. My body feels different every day. Quite often I wake up with a headache. My whole body is sore from training. You know, sometimes I have pains and aches, and if I have an injury, I don't train that body part. And if I have a pain or an ache, I go, interesting. I'll evaluate that during the day while I'm working and see, is that still sore later? And maybe that might be something that would need to be addressed. Problem with women is we feel blah and we let ourselves off the hook. We go, oh no, I don't think I should train today because, you know, I might damage my body more if I train today. Bullshit, girl. Seriously, stop making excuses. Show up to the gym and or go to work or do whatever, and stop letting yourself off the hook. Yes, you have feelings, and I know that whenever you were younger, your parents probably brought into those feelings because that's what we do. We go, oh, she's crying, oh, the little girl's crying. Like, boys cry, we go, shut up, stop crying. Big boys don't cry. Stop it, be quiet. And with girls, we go, Oh, here, have some candy. Oh my God, what can we do to get her to stop? Oh, like sit on mummy's knee, and like we totally buy into the whole. I'm not saying that a crying child shouldn't be given attention. I think a crying child should. I am like when my children need me and they're crying, and I am there for them. But I don't give. What Maya is much more emotional than the boys, much more emotional. But because I understand females and emotions, I understand that this emotion is natural because she's a woman. Okay, she's a woman, so she naturally has more emotions, and the boys go, wow, like she really they're like, mommy, why does Maya like do that? And I'm like, because she's a girl and she feels things in her body much more deeply because she's a woman. Do I treat her any differently than the boys? No. So I think that women have a natural propensity to cry more, and unfortunately this starts in childhood and it's kind of carried on through adulthood that, we feel our emotions much more deeply, and because we feel our emotions much more deeply and they're expressed much more loudly than men, unfortunately, we get attention for them. And when we get attention for them, that then perpetuates into the rest of our life. And then we believe that our emotions are extremely important and valid and need attention. And if that attention doesn't come, then we feel hard done by because I have an emotion and I'm feeling upset and you should comfort me. So I'm very careful. Like I love thinking about these things and I love really digging deep into the psychology behind it. But also whenever I feel like I'm having an off day, I just evaluate. Interesting. I feel like I'm having an off day. I feel like I've got a headache. Oh wow, I've got my period. Does it stop me from just getting my lazy ass out of bed, going to the gym, training? Do I lift any lighter weights because I have my period? No, it doesn't prohibit. Is it a little bit harder? Yes. Is it, but you know what? I'm tougher than life is hard. And so are you. So how do I stay motivated? I don't. I am rarely motivated. But you know what I am? Disciplined. What you build whenever motivation leaves you is discipline, right? Motivation will get you going. Discipline will keep you going. The problem, I hate to say it, with most females in the world is that they're just not disciplined. We just, do you want to hear a funny story? A friend of mine said to me the other week, do you know why terrorist organizations exist? And I was like, what? And he was like, do you know why terrorist organizations exist? And I said, no. And he said, because they're run by men. And I was like, yeah, because men are like so much more, you cut off than women, like they're much more aggressive and violent. And he was like, no, it's because they have discipline. If terrorist organizations were begun by women or started by women, do you know what would happen? The women would all show up on the first day to the first meeting. They'd be like, yes, we're going to like take out this country and we're going to do this. And they'd all be like so motivated and rah, 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 whatever. And then it'd be like, right, we're all going to meet back here next week, okay, for our next terrorist meeting. And then the women would all go off. And then the next week, maybe half the women would show up. And the other women would be, I had to wash my hair, or I had something going on with the kids, like I couldn't show up today, I'm really sorry, or I just didn't feel like it today. And then the next week there would be even half the women again, and then half the women again, and the terrorist organization would fizzle out. Do you know why? Because most women, and this sounds like I'm being, like this is like the bashing women episode. It's not, guys. I love women. I am a woman, okay? But I'm also I'm willing to risk offending a lot of women by saying this, because the one thing I see in the 8,500 women that I sold programs to last year is that they are lacking in discipline, okay? Discipline. They commit to something and then they don't follow through. So I don't stay motivated, I stay disciplined because I have built discipline over the years. Was it easy? No! It was freaking hard! But it's enabled me to get where I am today. And if you don't have discipline and you don't have drive, you will never achieve greatness in any area in your entire life. Men have discipline. Why do they have discipline? Because they're taught it from a young age. Because they're taught, show up, do the work. You don't get off the hook. You're being held accountable for your actions. Unfortunately, because women are much more emotional, we're not held accountable in the same way as little boys. Little girls are not held accountable in the same way as little boys. Because when little girls cry, they get let off the hook. So women learn, an emotion. If I cry, then I get off the hook. Men learn very quickly. Tears do not get you off the hook. Tears do not get you off the hook. I'm not saying this is right or wrong, by the way. I'm placing no value judgment on this. I'm just evaluating what I see whenever I look at, human dynamics and human psyches. I've thought a lot about why these women who join my program can't follow through. Not all of them. There are exceptions. Of course, this is not a blanket statement. This is a small subset of the population that I am dealing with, but what I see, the biggest thing that women lack in finishing one of the Sculpted Vegan programs is discipline. Discipline to show up and do the work whenever they need to do the work. So motivation, very, very, very rarely do I have it. Discipline, 99.9% of the time. Okay, so this is a really good one from Nicole Bennett, and she's saying, how many hours a day and per week are you physically active now you're not competing? So I'm certainly not as, whenever I was competing there this year, I chose to do more cardio so I could eat more food. So I trained in the gym 5 days a week, Monday to Friday. And then I was doing 45 to 60 minutes cardio in the morning and 45 to 60 minutes cardio in the evening, 6 days a week. So I had one full rest day on a Sunday. 6 days a week I was doing 1.5 to 2 hours cardio, and I was also doing training 5 days a week. So at the minute though, I don't have a schedule for my cardio, but I try to, every single day, I try to get a cardio session in. So a cardio session for me is either a big walk with my dog, because my dog doesn't walk on a lead. My dog walks, we don't have a lead for him. So people are like, how do you do it whenever he stops to pee and poo? I'm like, well, he's not on a lead. So he can stop and pee and poo as much as he wants, because I just keep marching and he follows me. So I do about 7 kilometers per day with the dog. He's very fit. Or I get on my Stairmaster in my office for about 45 minutes to 60 minutes. So I've cut down my training to 4 days a week at the minute. So I train 4 days a week in the gym, simply because I'm only maintaining the muscle that I've got now. I'm not really focused on building any more muscle. I just want to maintain 4 days a week of training really intensely is good enough. And then cardio, I aim to do 6 to 7 sessions of cardio per week. So like I said, a 7-kilometer walk with the dog or a 45-minute stepper on session on the stepper. And then that leaves me loads of room for pizza, for alcohol. Like I'm going to finish here and I am going to go and have a shower, get changed. I'm going to go into that garden with my husband and maybe some friends, and I'm going to drink for most of the night and then have some lovely big vegan enchiladas for dinner. And I am not going to feel one bit guilty about it, because I have worked so hard this week and I have earned it. So so I am pretty active, but I'm just not, I'm not as active as I was. The difference is though, things aren't scheduled, okay? So before it was scheduled cardio. I did not miss a cardio in the morning. I did not miss a cardio in the evening. But now things aren't scheduled in the same way. So Paul is asking, do you think that starting in bikini fitness before having kids is okay, or is it better to do it after pregnancy? Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, if you build a strong foundation now, then you absolutely, then you can get your body back in shape really, really quickly. So 100%, start now. Never wait to start. You don't know what's going to happen. You could be hit by a bus, okay? Never wait to start. Start in bikini before you have kids, and then you can do it again after as well. Thoughts on celery juice? We're nearly finished. Celery juice, pile of shite. Like seriously. It's okay. Celery juice, is drinking celery juice really good for you? Yes. Do I drink celery juice? Absolutely. Do I do the celery juice diet? No. Why? Because it's just a fad, people. Like seriously, it's a fad. And I ask you this question, right? So anybody who's on the celery juice diet, do you honestly think that you're going to be on the celery juice diet in 5 years? Probably not. Do you think you're going to be on the celery juice diet in a year? My guess is no. So why? Because the celery juice diet is a fad and is a phase which will fizzle out like everything. Do you know what has longevity? Do you know what creates long-term health, fitness, and happiness? Eating whole plant-based foods that are calorically light but nutritionally dense, training in the gym 4 or 5 days a week, doing lots of, active cardio to keep your heart healthy, and living with joy with your family and friends. I do not subscribe to any fads, to any diets, to anything, intermittent fasting, celery juices, the fucking juice cleanse, the watermelon diet, the master cleanse, all of these things. I'm like, seriously, people, stop being so extreme. People who go on extreme things are the ones who can't stick, who don't have the discipline, like we were just talking about, who don't have the discipline or the motivation to stick to something in the long term. The people I find who love the intermittent fasting and the juice cleanses and the celery juice cleanses and the watermelon cleanses and the master cleanses are the ones who are not sticking to their diet, who are cheating on their diet, who are not showing up to do the work that they're supposed to do 90% of the time, so then they have to go to the extreme 10% of the time. I don't need extremes in anything because my life is extremely balanced. I have a balance of time with my family and my friends and alcohol and good food, and then I have my time of training hard and doing cardio and working hard. And sometimes the balance goes out of whack, and sometimes I work more than I see my family, and sometimes I eat and drink more than I'm healthy. But quite often it all evens out in the end. So, rather than looking for the diets and the cleanses and the extremes, just aim to do a little bit every day, and that little bit, just do it every day and every day and every day and every day and every day. And then 2 years down the line, you go, holy shit, look at me. Not only am I in hot shit, but I have this business that I really want to do. And I've started that project that I always said I was going to start. Wow, look at me. I showed up for myself every day and look what I've achieved. So, it was like a funny story, right? I've only got a few more minutes. We're lying in bed with my daughter last night, and I opened my kids' bank accounts, okay? And so my daughter was like, oh, mommy, I really can't wait to get my card, for my bank account. Like, she's all grown up. She's going to have a Switch card and whatever. So, or, like a tap and go card. So she was so excited about it. And she said, mommy, I have some money that I can put in, but how can I get more money? She was like, do you have any way that I can earn some money? And I said, yeah, I'm sure I can help you, think of something. She said, no, but right now, mommy, do you have anything you need me to do right now? And I said, Maya, it's 9:45 at night. Like, I don't have anything for you to do right now. She was like, I'm going to go and ask Corey and Kai, do they have something that they need me to do right now? And I said, Maya, one thing you need to learn is patience. You need to learn patience. I said, the problem with the world is they want it now. I decided I'm going to lose weight, so goddammit, I should be thin. I should be thin tomorrow. I'm getting married, I'm getting married in 10 days, and I want to be a size 8, and I'm currently a size 14. Yes, we just want it, and we want it now, and we want it faster, and we want it harder. And we're not prepared to work for it, and we're not prepared to wait for it. And the one thing that is missing is patience. So I said to Maya, I will certainly help you to earn more money, but we need to sit down and make a plan for it, and you're going to have to be patient, which is very hard whenever you're as young as she is. And I totally get it. I wouldn't have been patient at her age either. But I think that we all have this belief that we can game the system. And I think that's why I love bodybuilding, because Mark and I were talking about it today, and I was saying in bodybuilding, you can't game the system. There's no gaming the system. You can't cheat muscle growth. You can't cheat fat loss. You can't make it happen any faster unless you go for surgery. You can't make muscle build any faster. You can't. I mean, yes, you can get butt implants or boob implants or whatever. Well, not that you can make your boobs grow. And let me tell you, if you could make your boobs grow, I'd have the biggest boobs in the world. But you can't. So I had to get mine surgically enhanced. So yeah, we can't cheat it. You can't game the system, you can't cheat it. And I think that that's a lot of the times what the intermittent fasting and the celery juices and, these are not sustainable long-term plans. These are quick fixes because people aren't prepared to put in the work in the long term and be patient. We want it and we want it now, and god damn it, we're not prepared to wait for it. And I think it's one of the biggest fallacies of humankind, and I think it's going to be, our demise. I think that truly our self-righteousness and our need to have it now and to want it without earning it or working for it is one of the reasons why we have the problems that we have in our culture today. I only have 60 seconds left, so I'm going to finish up now and say thank you so much for all your questions. I'm sorry I didn't get through all of the questions that were sent in to me, but you know me, I love to go off on my rants. I really do. I love a good rant, but I love doing these Q&As. They're like so much fun. And by the way, just, as an apology, if I offended you, I'm really sorry. If you didn't agree with something I said and it brought up your issues and you feel like the need to leave me a negative comment, try and refrain. I'm just a mirror for you. So if something I said caused you pain, that's probably your issue and it's not me, because people can't cause us pain without our permission. If you loved it, I would love it if you would share it with your friends. Afterwards, there'll be a little envelope and you can send it to people. Not a little envelope, little paper airplane. And you can send it to people. But otherwise, just keep showing up. I really appreciate every single one of you. You guys write to me constantly. I love your messages. I reply to every single message. If you sent me a DM, just so you know, I will reply to every single message. Okay, so 15 seconds remaining. I'm going to say goodbye now. Thank you guys. You're all sending me love and hugs and waves and hearts. Love you all, and I will talk to you all soon. We'll do another one of these next week, okay? Take care. Bye-bye.